Hey guys, I'm not really entirely sure what the point of this video is, but I just wanted to first of all just update you and obviously tell you why I've been missing. I'm really sick at the moment. Like, I've been off work for a couple of days because I think I've got a chest infection, but because over the weekend my doctor's surgery has been closed, I haven't been able to see anyone about it. And I've had this cough for probably 3 weeks now. And in the last 3 videos I've done, I've been coughing and it still hasn't gone away. So I've come to the conclusion, I've just done a self-diagnosis and I think it's a chest infection. I've been put on antibiotics because I saw my doctor last week and she gave me some antibiotics. I don't really think they're making any difference. And I've been in bed the whole day, but I just decided to put on some tinted moisturiser so it didn't look like I was just so dead. Basically, I don't really know how to say this, but I really wanted to talk to you guys about this because I think I just want to get it out, and I don't really know how to say it. But basically, about not last week but the week before, Wednesday morning, my mum woke me up at 6 o'clock in the morning and she was crying, and I had to go to work that day as well, so it was kind of really unusual because the phone was ringing at home at 6 o'clock in the morning, so I knew something had happened. And my mum came into my room and she woke me up, and by the time she woke me up it was probably about 6 o'clock, and she was crying, and she said Trisha, wake up. And I said, yeah. And she said basically she said that somebody had passed away. And I couldn't understand who she said had passed away, but because she was crying so much, and I kept saying, who's passed away, Mum? And she said, Parish. And I said, Parish who? Because the only Parish I knew was my cousin, and, he was 25 years old, so I thought, well, it can't be him, it must be someone older that she's talking about. And she went, no, our Parish. And she was crying and crying and crying, and I was just in shock, and I went, what happened? And she just said basically that he took his own life. And when she said that, I didn't really know what to think or what to do. The first thing I wanted to do was to go and see my sister, because my sister and him were really close, or at least they were until the last maybe couple of years. And he's the same age as my sister, so he was 25. And the sad part is, and I found this out afterwards, that he's been going through depression for the last maybe year or so. And the year before he took an overdose, and then he had basically tried to kill himself about a month prior to actually committing suicide. And I'm just kind of angry at the fact that, and I know that it's not like a blame game or anything, but I'm kind of angry at the fact that his parents didn't do anything more. Because the thing is, if it was my child and he had tried to commit suicide twice before, I wouldn't leave him alone, I wouldn't leave him by himself, I'd get him help. And he'd been to see the doctor and said, look, I'm feeling quite depressed, I'm thinking of ending my life. And the doctor just gave him some antidepressants and said, okay, I'll see you again in a month's time. His sister's also a GP, which again is just it's just really hard for her as well, because she was a GP but he wouldn't speak to her about his problems. And he had apparently, in the time that he was obviously planning this suicide, he had obviously gone on the internet, looked at different ways of doing it, and it was all taken from his computer afterwards. So basically, I went into my sister's room, so I said to Mum, do you want me to tell her? And we opened the door and she was in floods and floods of tears, so obviously she'd overheard my mum telling me, and she was just absolutely hysterical. And I didn't really know, I still don't know what to do, and it's been 2.5, 3 weeks since it happened. Well, 2 weeks since it's happened. And I just don't know how people get over stuff like this. I wasn't the closest thing to him. Like, my sister was a lot closer to him than I was because they were the same age. And I just don't really know what to think from here. Like, I just, you know, you start thinking, like, you know, if I'd spent more time with him, would this have happened? If I told him I loved him, would this have happened? And you just keep thinking about all the things that you could have done to stop him. But every time I saw him, he was happy and normal and making jokes and taking the mick like he usually would. And he rang my sister about 2 days before he committed suicide. And my sister was traumatised by the fact that he'd rang her 2 days before, because she said, I had absolutely no idea that he was going to do this because the conversation was just completely normal. And I said, yeah, but that was probably his way of saying bye to you. That was probably his way of, the way that he wanted you to remember him is to have like a normal conversation with him. And I said, in a way, it's kind of nice that he thought about you, like he wanted to speak to you. But obviously, I said he's not going to tell you or he's not going to hint because he doesn't want you to stop him. I'm just wondering how you get over something like this. And obviously his mum and dad are just completely traumatised and they're completely broken. And we've been round to their house pretty much every other day since it happened. And they live, you know, about an hour and a bit away from us, so I've been absolutely shattered. And then obviously in the middle I got this throat infection. And I haven't got to go back to work tomorrow, but I've got to go back to work the day after. And then I've got to work like 6 days straight again. So I just needed like recovery time. I needed time to myself. And I don't really know why I'm making this video, to be honest. And I really didn't want to get upset. And I think I'm okay. But the funeral's already happened. And, you know, it's... When I went round to his house the last time that I was there a couple of days ago, I did go into his bedroom. And I didn't get like a horrible feeling like I thought I would. I got like a he's happier sort of feeling. I got like a I'm okay, don't worry about me sort of feeling. So that kind of made me feel a little bit better, in the sense that if he really, really, really didn't want to be here, he had the courage to do something about it. And I think you have to be really brave to do something like that. I think it takes, a lot of people say, oh, you know, you're a coward if you commit suicide, you don't want to face everything. But I think it takes a massive amount of strength to know that you're going to leave your family behind and leave your friends behind. And he had like 4 nephews that he was really, really, really close to. And, like, you know, it must have taken a lot of courage for him to leave them behind. And his oldest nephew was asking about him the other day, and he's only 3, and his mum said that he's gone up to space in a spaceship, in a rocket, and that when he gets to 100 he'll be able to see him. And he's only 3, and he goes, well, Mummy, I'm going to be 4 next month. So, you know, it's just going to be really, really hard for him, because he's going to miss him. Like I said, I don't really know the point of this video. I think I just wanted to know that if anyone has lost anyone close to them, like, how do you get through it? What makes you feel better about it? Obviously it stops hurting after a while, but you're always going to miss that person. And to be honest, I'm more concerned about my sister, because I don't know how she's going to get over this, because they were really, really, really close. And I know this is like a really depressing video, but like I said, I can't really talk to my family. Well, I can, but I don't really want to get upset in front of my sister, because she's the one that I'm trying to be really, really strong for. So I'm probably going to upload this like straight away, because I just want to know, you know, what people think. And I've been thinking a lot about, you know, what happens after you die, and, you know, where do you go and all this. And my boyfriend said that you basically, obviously Hindus believe that you just come back and you're just reborn as something else. Depending on how, if you lived a good life or not, if you're a good person, you come back as, you know, but the highest thing that he says you can come back as is another human being. But the thing is, my cousin was involved in drugs and things like that, but he just got into a bad crowd, and I think he was just very, very naive. I'm so sorry. So I think I'm going to go. Hopefully things will be a bit better next time I see you guys. Hopefully I'll be feeling a bit better and I'll have a bit more closure on my cousin. And yeah, I'll see you guys soon.